Cancer sun, I feel what you don't say. Scorpio moon, I see through the gray. I'm tuned to your soul, I read the unseen. 8th house mind, 12th house dreams. Tarot in my hands, planets in my sight. I decode the dark, turn shadow to light. Every chart's a mirror, every transit a sign. The past, the now, the future, all intertwined. I'm here for your healing, your truth, your rebirth. Reading your stars, reminding your worth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Danyell, Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader. Astrologer divine, reading the natal chart, breaking down the signs, seeing life through.
Hello again, running behind the scenes. Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. This week, again, we have a lot of major astrological things happening. We're moving from some emotional softness and manifesting energy, which we had last week when it was on Sunday, Saturday, straight into mental awakenings. We have some shocking news that could be happening for us, some collective overstimulation, maybe some protesting, maybe some karmic crossroads and power struggles. We are in Gemini season and that starts to begin. And the sun, once Gemini, now we're in Gemini season, we're leaving Taurus season and we're going into Gemini season this week. And once the sun enters Gemini, it will immediately conjunct Uranus. We have Mars entering Taurus today. We have Venus entering Cancer today. We have some building situations with Pluto. So here's the thing. While some people will be emotionally sensitive and having some comfort, we are going to have a lot of people grounding themselves. We're going to have the collective mind moving really fast, a lot of gossip, a lot of wordplay. This week is going to be a lot of truth surfacing. We're going to have a lot of systems that could be possibly shifting. People could be changing their minds suddenly, emotionally trying to figure out what is going on actually, like what is the actual truth. Maybe safety could be a huge theme for everyone as well. So we are going to get started by breaking down a week. Hello, everyone. If you are new here, welcome, subscribe. I forget to say that. Thumbs up this video. Give me my flowers. If you really love predictions, if you really like knowing the astrological weather, how was the new moon for everyone? I literally had watched it at exact time happen. What I said, what happened in my video, happened in my face. Sometimes it's still shocking for me to even witness it. Even though I cold hard know that astrology is real and tarot is so predictively real, it's still shocking to this day to witness it. Anyway, but we are talking about this week. Let's talk about the dates here. The dates that should be showing. I can't see the screen of what you guys see because it's so tiny. But I will tell you what the dates should be saying. And if you guys are listening to this via podcast, hello, welcome. I'm going to tell you. Today is May 18th as I am filming this live, unedited, and you may be watching a pre-recording. But May 18th, Mars will be entering Taurus, Venus will be entering Cancer. We will have Mercury sextile Neptune and Venus sextile Mars. I'll talk about that. But that's not as big, but I just want you to know the astrological weather. On the 19th, we have Mercury squaring the North Node. It actually has a T-square. We have Mercury trining Pluto. Trines are positive, squares are not positive. Okay, just so you know. May 20th, that is when we have happy solar return to all of my Gemini. It is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Now, I have a Venus in Gemini and a Mars in Gemini, so I love me Gemini energy. This is my season too, because this is when I party and have fun and do the most. So there is that. Anyway, May 21st, we have Venus that will square Neptune. On the 22nd, the sun will conjunct Uranus. That is the title of this video. So that is the biggest news of this week. And then that same day, Mercury will sextile Saturn. On the 24th, Sun will then sextile Neptune. Mars will sextile the North Node. And it will also trine the South Node. And then on the 25th, we have the Sun will square, have a T square to the North and South Node. And Mars, this is also a big one. I could have titled it this too. Mars is going to square Pluto. It's already we should already be feeling that. So some of my Tauruses are going through it with that. All right. We'll explain that a little bit more as we get into this. Let me pull up my chart for you guys, and let's really, I gotta move stuff around my computer, or rearrange things. Okay, so we're gonna go into now as of today, and as you see, as of right now 11:40, we are still in Aries. Mars is in Aries. It's got a lot of things that it needs to close out. It's very anxious is the word, impulsive, moving fast kind of energy. Needs to close out things that's dealing with the self, the individual, the physical body, being assertive. All that is happening. And then later on today, Mars will officially enter, if you see here, Taurus. That will happen later on. Let me see. Do we need the exact time? Do we really need the exact time? Let me see. Let me get the exact time for everyone. That's going to happen at 3:25 p.m. Okay. Now, I talked about this in my last week video, but we will talk about it again for you guys who are like, I don't want to watch a rerun. Mars enters Taurus, and Mars is itself very fast. It's very impulsive. It's very reactive. It's very fiery. That's what it is currently while it's in Aries. Mars rules Aries. And then Mars moving into Taurus is something different. Mars actually doesn't like to be in Taurus. Mars, the planet, it rules over our action, our anger. It rules over our sex, the act of, ambition, or pursuing the act of. Motivation and survival instinct. Taurus is a very fixed energy, meaning it's very stubborn. The most stubborn, I think, of all the signs. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so we're going to look at Venus. And it's connected with money, food, land, luxury, security, and the physical body. So Mars in Taurus becomes an issue of more controlled force, not quick force. Overall, the energy will be about pausing, stabilizing, protecting, building. The collective will be more focused on our finances, our money, comfort, ownership, food, survival, long term security, anything that's dealing with a tangible item because it is an earth sign. Now, the transit tends to increase stubbornness, determined, especially when people are fighting. They are fixated on that situation, very possessive, very patient, very financial focus when trying to pursue anything. Okay, this is when the gold digger starts to strive. Okay, um, I was gonna keep going with that joke, but we'll let it be that way. Mars is actually uncomfortable in Taurus, like I said earlier, because Mars likes to move fast. It likes to have movement. It has direct action, and Taurus is very cautious. It's very consistent, and it likes stability. So Mars could be a little frustrated. You may even feel frustrated when trying to pursue things. You may be a little passive aggressive. Maybe there's like a slow burn kind of energy. There could be some internal anger, or maybe your resistance to change, even though Mars likes to actually start to be the starter. So instead of exploding on someone, you might slowly have that slow anger, tick 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 tick, and then it erupts kind of energy that could be happening. Taurus is the symbol of a bull. So Mars in Taurus is like a bull standing in the middle of a field. It's very calm, it's very still, it's very quiet until you provoke. Don't poke the bear. In this case, don't poke the Taurus. Okay, don't poke the bull, not the Taurus. This is why Mars and Taurus people are, even this transit energy, they can endure longer. So we will be able to do that. We can fight strategically. We could refuse to quit. A lot of holding grudges though, and move slowly but decisively. Major themes that we will see while Mars is in Taurus, again, inflation, spending, resources, food prices, material security, stocks, banking, property, anything dealing with luxury, that kind of thing. Maybe a little sense of laziness. Mars and Taurus Could be a little lazy when achieving some stuff. Sensuality is very important while Mars is in Taurus. Everything you touch, smell, what is it? See, touch, smell, hear. All that is very important while Mars is in Taurus. Pleasure, food, sexuality, beauty, comfort, physical attraction. This can all could increase your desire, your indulgence, eating a lot, romance through physicality. Maybe if you're trying to pursue something, maybe you cook a really good meal, play nice music, let it smell good in a room. Yeah, light a candle, all that. Mars in Taurus could add a little jealousy, a little possessiveness, a little bit attachment too. The anger style in Mars, like I said, is not that angry, but it is the resentment is kind of simmering, passive aggressive, very stubborn with the conflict. Yeah, so that's what we have. I do see with Mars and Taurus, a lot of people fighting over homeland and land, not homeland, that would be more Cancer, but land. Again, the stock market is going to be a big theme. So if you work in the financial industry, get ready. Um, Whenever we're dealing with Taurus energy, it's dealing with banks, it's dealing with finances, it's dealing with stocks, financial battles, agriculture, food issues. Yeah, just banking, maybe having some instability with that, or stubborn politics. Maybe people are standoff with that. But any type of natural resource, Taurus will rule over that too. A resource and it's natural. That's very Taurus. Okay. Yeah. But I would be careful of overspending. I would be careful of overeating. Be careful of being lazy. Be careful of toxic attachment, because you're possessive. You're not trying to let go. You're not trying to release. Yeah, but a huge thing with laziness. But it's a great time to do anything for the long term and being determined. It's excellent energy for fitness that's more consistent. Building wealth, anything you're dealing with homeland, so gardening, farming, that works. If you're really trying to improve the diet and have it taste good, any type of slow business that wants some growth in the long run, that's great too. So yeah, that is what we have. Now, Mars, while it is in Taurus, is going to immediately have some issues with Pluto. And this is going to be a lot of power struggles, financial control issues. You feel like someone's trying to control you, or vice versa. Tauruses, I seem like there could be some issues with you with that. That could be a possibility. Financial control issues, rebellion against restrictions, stubborn collective conflict. Um, Taurus is all about the finances, it's all about what you value. And Pluto, both of these planets are very strong. It deals with power, it deals with control. It could be a physical thing too. And Pluto is the mystery, it is the dark secret, it is transformation. And this is endurance and action. So that there could be a conflict with that. So be aware of that. This is very intense energy, it's very defiant, and economically charged for sure. In the sign Aquarius, you are talking about people possibly rebelling, maybe with banks or stocks or over resources. That could be a possibility as well. Yeah, let's see what else. Also, too, the best way to work with Mars and Taurus is about saving money and building some routines and investing slowly. Yeah, and even cooking at home, I would find that is really great with Mars and Taurus. Let me see what else. Mars and Taurus is also going to sextile the ruler, which is Venus in Cancer, and they both enter 0 degrees the same day. So today is going to be very interesting. Let's see how it is for the collective. But the ruler in Venus is in Cancer. So a lot of moodiness and sensitivity when we're trying to pursue things in the long run, or when we're trying to have some stability. So be aware of that. But also, there's positive energy with the yin and yang, with the female and male, with the comfort energy. So if you want to have some opportunity here, because that's what a sextile represents, it will bring opportunity for you desiring safety, you having some bonding with your I was going to say female relationships, but maybe more in the past, or like your mom, or any type of protective loved ones. And yeah, a big focus on home, and it really works for you. Okay, so all that will be best to work with this. Now, Venus is also not Venus. Why am I talking about Venus? But Venus is the ruler of Mars. Let me see what else we have with Mars transits. Why do I have my Venus transits here? I talked about Mars. It was square Pluto. Oh, I didn't say that this is a fixed energy. So it's dealing with something that needs to change and it doesn't want to be changed. It could be dealing with the economy. It could be dealing with a leader of some sort, especially with AI being some change. The future versus the traditions that could be happening. Clashes over values, or again, new systems versus the old system. In the middle of June, Mars is going to sextile Jupiter and Mercury. Mercury will be in Cancer. Mercury retrogrades in Cancer too when Mercury enters Cancer. But in the middle of June, it was sextile this energy. So emotional driven conversations, being very strategic, having an intuitive mindset when trying to plan something or do something or get something. Very positive energy. Not, I wouldn't say very, but just know that it's out there. This is really great if you're trying to write or publish or talk or communicate, especially when it comes to something at home or where you feel safe or something from the past. Um, yeah, but also too, like a sense of nationalism. Also, anything dealing with real estate or learning real estate or increasing fertility, even too. That is great with this energy because Mars, again, that sexuality, and Mercury will be sitting here with Jupiter, also very fertility kind of energy as well. And then Mars Venus, the ruler, will be entering Leo, and Venus will still be in Mars. And now the ruler of Mars is dealing with more of a dramatic, let's say, expressive, very attention seeking kind of thing. So this will get bigger as when once Venus enters Leo. We're going to be seeing the themes now, like what is the leader, what is the president, what is the king saying about our what we value in our resources. We'll see more of that, or maybe even like celebrities even talking about stuff like that, right? Um, Let me see if I have anything else. I think that's all we have for Mars and entering Venus. Did I talk about? Let me see what else. It will be sextile. Oh, I didn't say it will. Mars will also trine the south node. So it's going to work really good while Mars is in Taurus. A lot of releasing of things of the past that we shouldn't be holding on, about being perfect, about criticizing ourselves. That's going to improve, especially things that we should be moving forward. And so we got to release the past. So that's going to work out really great while Mars is in Taurus. Also, while Mars is in Taurus, it is going to have some big issues, okay, with Scorpio placements, okay? You're going to feel a little lost when achieving things or maybe things that you value. It's also not going to work really well with all of my Aquarius placements, all of my Leo placements. Not going to work well for you, but it's going to work really well with all of my Earth signs. So any people who have Virgo placements or Capricorn placements, yes. Tauruses, you will be feeling this the most because, of course, it's in your sign. Now, also on this day, um, on the 18th, Venus will be entering Cancer. It is the ruler of Mars, but Venus in Cancer, it becomes very soft. It becomes more emotional. There's all about the past, being very nostalgic, being very sentimental, being protective. A lot of dealings with the mom, the womb, the breast, female, family orientated energy, emotionally intuitive. Yeah, you're dealing with feminine energy to the utmost here. Okay. Once Venus enters Cancer, it will be conjunct the moon. The moon is the ruler. So the full moon and the new moon is really going to affect this Venus here. But I do want you to understand that once it enters Venus, it will be very sensitive because the moon is coming with Venus as well. Venus rules over our love, our relationships, our female relationships. If you are a man and you're heterosexual and you're dating a female, it's going to have some issues with that. If you are a female who's just with females, it's going to have some issues with that, good or bad, good and bad. Relationships, money, what you naturally attract, also your values, your pleasure, your equilibrium, fairness, even maybe some stuff that deals with justice with the court. Again, Cancer is all about your emotions, your home, your family, your roots, your memory, safety, motherhood, ancestry. So, Venus in Cancer is what truly feels emotionally safe and nourishing. That is Venus in Cancer. Venus, again, is the ruler of parties. So, a lot of themes of people having parties at home, or having a blast from the past kind of parties, or honoring your mom kind of parties, or who makes you feel safe and protective. That's the energy, that's the vibe while Venus is in Cancer. People become more focused on emotional connections, home life, comfort, family, decorating our home, cooking in our home, emotional security, closeness, and softness. Okay. Love during Venus in Cancer, people are going to crave reassurance. They're going to crave consistency, emotional warmth, loyalty. It's going to be very emotional, very sensitive. Okay, for your loved ones. Love languages become more about caregiving, a lot of home cooking, a lot of emotional support, a lot of quality time, and the need to feel protective. While Venus in Cancer, again, you're going to have this very nostalgic energy. Like you probably will want to reconnect with your family, or reconnect from something in the past, or maybe visit some old wounds as well. While Venus is in Cancer, where's Chiron? Chiron is sitting in Aries. Later on, it will probably have some issues with this healing issue. So we'll see about that. Um, Home and domestic energy will definitely increase. Again, being more cozy or decorating a home. I'm a Cancer sun, so just being a homebody will, of course, be the thing. Money. Because Venus rules money, we are dealing with a lot of savings because you want to feel protective and protected. So there could be either like you're saving or you're emotionally spending. So there could be that. Or you could be spending a lot on your home or on your family. That could be a big thing too. If you're a mom, spending on your kids, or feeling like you need to spend on being safe. Yeah, but feminine energy is very intensified with this placement. So a lot of softness, a lot of bouncy curls, voluptuous lips, full body kind of energy, a lot of softness, a lot of nurturing energy, a lot of maternal instincts and psychic sensitivities. While Venus is in Cancer, though, people could be a little more clingy, a little more moody, a little jealous, a little passive aggressive, emotional manipulation could be happening. A lot of people retreating to their shell, overly staying at home. Yeah, and feeling overprotective. So maybe even shutting down emotionally, or giving you the guilt trip, becoming coming oversensitive is what I see a lot while Venus is in Cancer. Now, for the collective, for the world, right? Not that was you individually. While Venus is in Cancer, we're going to see a lot of things about real estate, housing issues, family policies, the food industry. Venus is Cancer is a water sign, so a lot of things dealing with water, more lake kind of energy, not really the ocean. But you never know. Themes about water. So, like people at home in water, like in their pool or a pond. Yeah, women, fertility, birth issues, that will be more of a theme, good or bad. Ancestral kind of themes too. Are you the mom? He's the father, but more the mom. Emotional reactions from the public. A lot of dealing with your roots and homelands as well. Okay. Now, Venus in Cancer. While Venus is in Cancer, we are going to see, I talked about how it immediately touches the moon. So a lot of sensitivity, a lot of softness, a lot of reassurance as well. Oh, Venus in Cancer is going to square Neptune and um, Saturn in Aries. And when you have that, first we'll talk about Venus squaring Neptune. There's going to be some confusion when it comes to relationships, or maybe a rose colored lens, a fantasy, a projection, illusion, maybe a spirituality, but it's lost in the sauce. A lot of escapism with drugs when you're dealing with relationships, like you're in a relationships and you guys are addicted to something. Romantic illusions, blurred emotional boundaries, false hope, longing for unavailable people, emotional projection, saver victim kind of mentality in a relationship. So be aware of that. Once Venus enters Cancer, this is what we're going to be seeing. Okay. Being lost at a party, being confused at a party, being confused about a female friendship, being lied to, deception about a female friendship to our female as well. So be aware of that. Maybe compassion isn't there, or there's an issue with compassion because this represents compassion too. While Venus is in Cancer, though, it has this great energy with the North Node. And when it has a trine with the North Node, that means that our intuition and what we're meant to do, and surrendering and spirituality and emotional healing, all that is going to work for our destiny. Maybe even dealing with a soulmate, our healing conversations. Like, we're going to attract things that we're supposed to be doing in this lifetime, our soul's purpose. We're going to naturally attract that, and be sensitive and intuitive to that. So that is very great. But during in the middle of May 26th, it's the middle of May now. So May 22nd, you start to feel, well, actually, you start to feel it a little bit sooner than that. But as the, I don't want to move the thing because I'm getting lazy. Well, just 1 degree. So we can say as of tomorrow. Saturn is going to square Saturn. That's when restrictions and boundaries and punishments start to happen. Saturn squaring Venus, you can also feel very lonely, emotionally heavy, restricted, disappointed, and very serious. So Venus is not going to be very happy while it's in Cancer at the beginning. It'll slowly start to develop some other stuff, but it's a great time to really focus on your destiny and your future because you all have this positivity. Not the best with the relationships. We'll see how that goes. I mean, Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Could be feeling like the same thing, but our destiny moving forward. Whatever is going to happen with this square, maybe our destiny will be better. Venus in Cancer wants emotional closeness, nurturing, and safety. Saturn in Aries says handle your own emotional responsibility. There could be a lot of tests, a lot of karma, emotional distance, a lot of financial caution, fear of rejection, being with an old man and it doesn't work. Okay. Do not enter that relationship with that old man. While Venus is in Cancer, it's going to quincunx Pluto in Aquarius. This is going to be very strange, uncomfortable, maybe obsessive, maybe emotionally unsettling. There could be some psychological things that are happening and it makes you feel discomfort. This could be a trigger to emotional control issues, jealousy, attachment wounds, manipulated dynamics. Manipulative dynamics, fear of abandonment, and emotional power struggles. Okay. That's going to happen once it hits 5 degrees, I find. So around May 23rd. So be aware of that. That is what we have when Venus is in Cancer. Also, too, the full moon in Sagittarius happens May 30th. That's going to affect Venus. And when you have that, you are talking about this spontaneous, overly optimistic energy. Maybe that's going to affect your relationships. Okay. This can create emotional revelations, sudden truths, a desire for emotional freedom. Maybe you're traveling and it's going to affect that as well. Venus will, this is positive, Venus will June 8th conjunct Jupiter. This is very positive when it conjuncts Jupiter. Here it is with the full moon. Where's the full moon? Why do I have it on the 30th? Oh, there's the full moon. Yeah, so here's the full moon. It'll be here. But Jupiter around the full moon, not Jupiter, Venus. Venus will start to conjunct Jupiter. This is very positive. So at the beginning, while Venus is in Cancer, it's a little negative, a little lost in the sauce, but as we get close to Jupiter, this is great. This is abundance. This is protection. This is generosity. This is luck. This is fertility. This is family blessings. This is financial growth. A lot of emotional healing. This is great when it comes to love, relationships, friendships, finances. Very great with that. Okay, so that's when you celebrate, and then Venus will go into Leo. Do we have it? Do you understand? Now, while Venus is in Cancer, it is going to work with all my water placements. So if you have Scorpio placements, if you have Pisces placements, it's going to work well for you. It's going to feel stronger for all my Cancers. You're going to be feeling this the most. It's not going to work with any of my cardinal signs. Aries, you're going to have some challenges when it comes to everything that Venus rules. Also, all of my Libras, and you're the worst who will probably get it, the opposition. I shouldn't say the worst. The opposition is going to go to the Capricorns. Okay. You guys are not feeling the best while Venus is in Cancer. Let me see what else. Also, too, I did say that Venus is going to sextile Mars. So that's great. That energy is out there. So use it. Now, also, too, on the 18th, back to today, Mercury is going to sextile. Where's my Mercury? Mercury is sitting next to Uranus. So a lot of talking. A lot of anxiety. Oh, a lot of people are like, I'm having problems with technology. That's that Mercury sitting next to Uranus. A lot of people are the news, the gossip, the talking, the emails, the glitches. I've already said that. But Mercury is also officially going to sextile Neptune today. So this is all about vivid dreams, intuitive thoughts, psychic downloads, creative ideas, storytelling, mentally being inspired. Okay. It's great time to write, create music, anything dealing with tarot. Maybe I should do an extra video for my people who pay for my community. I will do that today. Also too, what else do we have? But very imaginative energy, and Venus in Cancer, sitting next to that moon, being very sensitive, is going to sextile Mars. And they're both sitting at 29 degrees. So, again, a sense of urgency to close things out. So, this is great for any type of romantic or being affectionate kind of energy. Great for emotional bonding, physical intimacy, emotional safety, manifestation, anything dealing with the home life as well. Venus, because you have that moon sitting there, great with communication, great with starting something new, communicating about starting something new as well. Let me see. Yeah, and the female energy is working with the masculine energy. Now on May 19th, Mercury is going to square, already feeling this, it has a T square to the north and south node. Okay. Mercury is all about facts in Gemini. It's all about information. Mercury rules Gemini. So talking too much, a lot of movement, a lot of hand gestures, a lot of logic, conversation, anything dealing with messaging, right? And the North Node is all about your intuition and your spirituality and your destiny. And this could be, there's something being said, it could be some shocking news, and it's not working for what you thought is supposed to be meant for your future. So be aware of that. A lot of lost in the sauce, a lot of confusion. Maybe stuff is being too detailed and it could be causing some confusion. Maybe there's some gossip, some misinformation, scattered thinking, anxiety, definitely some anxiety, right? If you know anything about this energy, especially sitting next to Uranus. Yeah, so be aware of that. And people driving too, Mercury deals with the driving. But this T square is being a lot of lost in the sauce and having anxiety about your future or about releasing your past. Okay. Now, this is great though. Mercury, while it's in the sign in Gemini, it works really good, Uranus too, with Pluto. So this is very powerful transit. It is here. It's going to move fast though. This is a great time to investigate, have some deep conversations, do any research. This is a great time to uncover any secrets. Again, this will work really good with astrology because you're dealing with science here. Being obsessed with finding the truth, analyzing some situations that are very deep, getting the therapy, talking about the therapy. Great for organizing some political events. This is great for technology and social media, even though it may be glitching and moving too fast. Okay, so you do have that. And yeah, so that is what we have. Now let's talk about May 20th. This is when the sun will enter Gemini, and then the sun will enter Gemini and it will be sitting next to Uranus. Now, the sun in Gemini is very fast, okay? Gemini is a very light energy. It's very curious. It's very social. A lot of mental stimulation, a lot of conversing, being adaptable. It's a mutable sign. But communication, high, high, high. Anything learning something new is really big. Gemini energy is mutable air. Is ruled by Mercury. So whatever Mercury is doing is going to affect the sun, what everyone sees. Whenever the sun enters a zodiac sign, it highlights at that theme. It highlights that zodiac energy. It also brings light. Highlight is the same thing. It brings light to that. You guys, look at the gun show. Oh, she works out. Anyway, but it's going to be a lot of themes of communication, media, social media, the podcasters, the newsletters, the Substack, the emails, the learning, movement, technology, your community, the siblings, anything dealing with duality and multitasking. Gemini wants all the options. It likes to be stimulated. It likes to have a lot of conversations. It wants variety. It likes ideas, especially new ideas, networking, information, and an exchange of information, and exchanging like, what did you learn? What do you know? What do we know? That kind of thing. Collectively, people are more social. They're more talkless. They're more restless. They're more curious. They're more distracted. A lot of mental energy. This is someone driving while looking on the phone. Be aware of that. Okay. But people will be craving more news. If you are channeling the news and doing the news, this is great for that. A lot of gossip. They're really into trends. Gemini energy loves trends. Into anything learning, social interaction, movement, online engagement. Gemini rules a lot of things on the internet, social media, our cell phone, the emails, podcasts, marketing, transportation, any trends. We'll see all that be very big. Maybe someone will go viral. Gemini energy is very about the pranks too. It's very scattered, it's very inconsistent, it's very anxious, it's very distracted. There could be a lot of misinformation, a lot of overthinking, a lot of nervous energy. If you know Geminis kind of can't keep still, that is that very anxious energy, especially sitting next to that Uranus, because that's like Aquarius and Gemini together. Doom scrolling kind of energy. Gemini is known as two-faced, but they're really flip-floppers, so back and forth. The Crips and the Bloods, the Democrats and Republicans, kind of back and forth like a tennis game. Okay, yeah, but this is a great time to write, a great time to learn something. The beginning stages of learning, that's Gemini. Sagittarius is the higher learning, but just any type of marketing, anything dealing with communication is great. Brainstorming, all that stuff. We're going to see a lot of big themes again with the podcasters, with any type of journalists. AI could be a big thing. Emails, a lot of meetings at work, and people are long winded because they're going over a lot of stuff, but they're glazing over the stuff because it's very superficial energy. A lot of people talking at work. Yeah, so are talking online, but it does make people lose sleep. Gemini energy. A lot of people do feel anxious and overstimulated, or they're burnt out because they're multitasking. This is very flirtatious energy. So a lot of people flirting, and being very spontaneous and being inconsistent as well. Um, Now let's talk about the transits. Mercury also matters here. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. It's at home in Gemini. It's ruling the sun. So this is going to be everything I said is going to be, of course, not without question, going to be the main thing here. Okay. Now let me see. Let's talk about. Let me see. Set that. Set that. Set that. Okay. Let's talk about the Sun conjunct Uranus here. While Mercury is sitting here too. The sun represents your identity, your ego. It represents leadership, visibility, consciousness, collective focus. The father figure and very masculine energy. And again, extroverted outside leadership. I don't know if I said leadership. Yes, I did. Kings. Okay. Now, Uranus is the planet of rebellion, breakthroughs, chaos, and innovation. Technology, awakening, and unpredictability. It is in charge of the air, navigation, space, but more of the math kind of mentality of space. And Mercury is the lower octave of Uranus. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. They're all sitting here and they're in the sun sign Gemini. This is going to be very strong energy. Now, last time we had the sun come over here with Aries, that was bigger than Mars. So I would think that the sun sitting here is going to be bigger than ever. Again, Uranus is rebellion and chaos. Okay, so we could be having some shocking news, some viral moments, some technical breakthroughs. Again, internet disruption. Charge your cars before the 21st if you're charging. Social media, let's see what this is going to highlight. Getting that email, and it's an unexpected email. Sudden changes in opinions. People speaking very impulsively. There is an awakening mentally. Conjunctions are strong. They're good or bad or both. But you could be breaking free from any old narrative. Mentally electric kind of energy. Digital revolutions, online movements, viral culture, sudden media shifts, disruptive communication, disruptive. Uranus likes to disrupt. Okay. Uranus also is about the future. Again, AI, technology. The cars are flying in the sky. Rapid information could be spreading. Shocking headlines. AI debates as well. This is huge. This is unexpected change, and there is a highlight to the unexpected things. Or there is the sun is shining a highlight on the disruption. The sun is highlighting something that deals with space and futuristic. Maybe we're going to be seeing what's going on with NASA. Is it real or is it not? I have some videos on that in my behind my paywall. Click the link for my community. But the sun is going to highlight some stuff that deals with Uranus. We shall see what that looks like. Let me pull a card and see what that conjunction looks like for our. It says here female friendships. Maybe. Let's see what else we have here. A lot of water energy dealing with feminine energy. We also have the Knight of Cups. So, like some emotions here, some romance here. It seems like it's dealing with friendships more than ever. Maybe I don't know why shocking when it comes to a water sign, and that's dealing with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. So let's see why we got so much water energy with the cards. Let me see. I want a clarification on why. My nosy butt is giving everything but air, but this is dealing with finances. Again, finances, it makes me just think of Venus. Venus is sitting there in Cancer. So let's see how this affects this. I don't see the correlation, but the cards will tell the truth here. So let's see how this affects some finances, something tangible. Maybe we'll get, Mercury does deal with commerce and buying and selling. So let's see if it highlights something like crypto or something like that online. Okay. Let's talk about while the sun's in Gemini. While the sun is in Gemini, it will be conjunct Uranus, and then it will be Uranus is conjunct Mercury. This is going to be a big day, May 20th, 21st as well. Then the sun is also going to have a T square with the north and south node. Not going to get along with our future and our past. We could be overanalyzing. We could be trying to be too perfect. We could be having some control issues, criticism. Not really a little confused when it comes to our future and what we're hearing and what's being said and the thought process, especially with this shocking news. But the sun will trine Pluto. So that's working good with empowerment, the truth being exposed, psychological awakening, transformation, intensity, and strategic insight. Pluto in Aquarius is going to represent that AI stuff. So this is going to be major themes with the future AI in the sky because these are air signs. Now, it will have a full moon in May 30th, and the full moon will be in Sagittarius. And that's going to rule over philosophy and writing and higher wisdom, being overly optimistic, maybe the truth bomb kind of energy, and it will be maybe negative. We'll see how that goes. Also, too, Uranus will still be sitting close to this full moon. I mean, opposing the full moon too. And then Mercury will then enter 29 degrees, May 31st. It will be closing out the talking energy and being overly stimulated. And then it will enter Cancer. So then the sun will be it will be talkative, but be more sensitive. So we'll see that change, more of discussions about the homeland. And then there'll be a new moon June 14th, and it's going to be in the sign Gemini. And that looks positive from what I saw. I don't remember exactly, but the new moon, it'll bring new ideas, new cycles when it comes to media or anything dealing with the air and friendships as well, and social media. A lot of air dominance energy because we have Gemini, Aquarius, Uranus, and Pluto. Yeah, in the future. So get ready for the sun being in Gemini, but happy solar return to the sun being in Gemini. Also to the sun being in Gemini. Of course, Geminis, you are feeling a lot. There's a lot of different things happening for you, especially with all this going on with all my Gemini placements. Uranus is in the early part of Gemini, but it will be coming your way soon if it hasn't affected you already. But being free, being different, being unique, all that is coming your way, even a disruption or maybe a happy surprise. Now, this doesn't work great, the sun in Gemini, for all my Pisces, all of my Virgos, and all of my Sagittarius. Not the best for you guys if you have any placements in that sign. There will be some challenges and oppositions for Sagittarius. Now, this works really good for all my air signs. So my Libras and my Aquarius, blessings on blessings on blessings with the highlighting and the ego and you trying to strive to get to go somewhere and do something. Now, May 21st, Venus is going to officially square Neptune. Again, this is when we have illusions in love, okay? This is where Venus in Cancer wants to feel safe emotionally and be sentimental. And at Neptune adds the sense of fantasy, idolization, escapism, and drugs. The confidence is going to be blurred. The ego is going to have some issues. Um, Venus in love with relationships, it's just lost in the sauce. It's not going to be a great time when Venus enters Cancer to be in a relationship if it's new. Okay. If you meet someone once Venus enters Cancer, don't say I didn't warn you that this is an illusion when it comes to relationships. Mixed signals, emotional confusion, fantasy when it comes to relationships, secret crushes, but there's some red flags and you're not looking at the red flags, okay? Deception, denial, emotional fog, again, drugs as well. At a party, don't take any drugs, okay? Say no to drugs as well. Again, when it comes to the public, though, when it comes to mundane astrology, this square here is a lot of where's my money? Bit better have my money. That kind of energy. This is what that is, okay? The money is gone, is lost in the sauce, okay? So yeah, and we'll see some long-term results with that here. Yeah, so we have that, but as of the 21st, losing the money, and it's not quite there, and it's discussed or is on social media, okay? Let me see what else. Oh, is this the official? The 22nd is when the sun officially conjuncts Uranus. Um, Also, too, I want you to know that brings a new story. So this is the start of something new because conjunction starts the story, then it squares. That starts another part of the story, and then it trines. That's another part. Then it opposes. You get, and then it comes right back around. Okay. So again, major transit. Again, I told you everything Gemini rules: transportation, your phones, writing. It represents all that and innovation. So we're going to have a big issues. Maybe Trump's going to be involved. He has a sun in Uranus, not a sun, a Gemini sun. Let's see. I haven't looked at Trump in a while. So let's see what Trump is doing here. It's not touching him, but while the sun and Mercury is in Gemini, we're going to get some unexpected stuff with him. You know, a lot of people, which I was going to put behind my paywall, are saying that Trump is captured. Okay. All the people who were MAGA, if you didn't know, if you are a Democrat or a liberal or just don't know politics, a lot of people who voted for Trump are saying that he's not who he was. Okay. And so, I mean, you can say it's an excuse. I don't know. I'm not the red hat person, okay? I'm also not the blue hat person if there's their opposition, okay? Don't believe in both, but I can see the good and bad on both. That's very Gemini energy, by the way. See, it looks like I'm a flip flopper. I'm not. I just see both sides. Now, I do want you to understand that there is like this theme of people saying that he is not who he is. Like he's not who he's regularly. The stuff that he says, like how he tweets, is not how he normally is. You may say it's different, but if we look at some of his placements, this is his harmony and balance being captured or restricted of some form, and him saying things could be restricted as well. Eighth degree is also a Scorpio degree. That's very controlling as well. So there could be some possibilities when looking at his chart. This could be a possibility. What people are saying, it's squaring Neptune. It's almost like the partnership is being deceitful and holding him captive. Also, like he's imprisoned. His mind is imprisoned. Him voicing what he wants to say is imprisoned. That could be a possibility. This is in his natal chart. So he could also be very secretive, or what he's saying is an illusion, like who he was is an illusion, not his image, because his image is over here. There's a lot of power struggles, and yeah, but I'm just saying this could be a possibility, what the people are saying. Anyway, but while the sun moves over here, it will affect him. While the sun, Mercury moves over here, it will affect him. This is not close enough yet, so this conjunction may not affect him as much. just so you know. But it does move into this house of the future. It does move in his house of politics. So we'll see some unpredictable statements from Trump continue. Yeah, but astrologically, we could see some shocking news, internet disruptions, technology disruptions, viral events, social media, AI, hacking. Um, Something is going to be said, and it's going to shock a lot of us. I can't wait to see what happens. But be careful of the nervous system. You could be overstimulated because also this could be some sudden secrets could be emerging, even though that's dealing more with Pluto, but it's working together in a positive way. So a secret could be coming out as well. Again, nervous system, erotic behavior, scattered thinking from a leader or yourself. This is very rebellious energy too. So that could be happening. On the flip side, it could be very clear, like a lot of clarity. Genius idea, very innovative, a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of futuristic kind of thinking. This is great for the astrologers, the creators, the inventors, the writers, the social media people, influencers, the podcasters, the innovative people, anyone who wants to be different and outside of the box. Great for rebellions as well. Let me see what else we have. This same day, Mercury is going to sextile Saturn. I said that, but this is, I think I did, but this is great for thinking long term. So this really works that day of thinking long term, paying attention to the details, really working with trying to think long term and stability and having discipline and having structure, but saying it. Okay. Let me see what else. Okay, so May 24th. I feel like I'm dragging. Am I moving too slow? Put me on high speed because Gemini energy needs to be fast. Okay. On the 24th, we have some sextile stuff. So we have the sun that's going to sextile Neptune. We have Mars that's going to sextile the North Node. And then it'll be trining the South Node. So you pursuing your dreams for the future is going to work really good this day. The sun sextiling Neptune is things dealing with the sun in the sign of information and movement, and Neptune in Aries is the vision, is inspiration. So really having a mind of the behind the scenes energy could be working for you. Okay. And being fascinated with symbolism and dreams and intuition, using tapping into your intuition can work really well that day. Okay. Let me see what else. Psychic intuition. Let me see. Oh, if you're a filmmaker, that works really good. Photography, because Neptune works with that too. That Mars. Let me see. Working with the past, releasing the past, and working with that is really going to be really positive. Also could be dealing with tangible things here and releasing like decluttering stuff. Not in the home, depends on your placement, on your rising sign, but decluttering things that needs to be released and healing, a lot of healing um for your future and your past. So that's what that works, and really pursuing that physically as well. So on May 25th, the sun is going to have, it's like this is positive, but the sun is not working well at all with the north and south node. So let me see what I have here. The T square tension is a T square. Um you could be overthinking. You could be trying to be perfect. You could be criticizing. You could be micromanaging. I hate micromanaging energy. And it's ruining the stuff you need to release and let go. There could be some anxiety. There could be information and being obsessed with information. But the North Node in Pisces is all about surrendering and using your intuition. You're not using it. The discussions are not intuitive. The discussions are not spiritual. It's not about what you're feeling. There's lack of clarity here. Not all information leads to wisdom. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. That sun there is highlighting something that's said, and it's messing up the future. So around that day, not even that day, but once the sun enters Gemini, just be careful of what the words are saying when it comes to your future. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here. But yeah, that is what we have. Let me see. Mars squaring Pluto. Oh, this is what we have at the end of the week. Okay. And Mars not at the end of the week. Really, is it Monday? Yes, Monday. So I'll talk about this again on Monday, but we'll already be feeling it. Monday, we have it at 5 degrees. 5 degrees is a Leo degree. It could be dealing with the bosses, the leaders, the presidents, the children, okay, or just some conflicts, stubbornness. And this is already stubborn energy, okay? This is going to be rage, power struggles, conflict, obsessions, destruction. Pluto represents rebirth, and it's like the rebirth is being aggressive, extreme pressure, confrontation, survival instincts. Mars and Taurus, remember, it moves slow, is very stubborn. And Pluto in Aquarius is very fixed minded. It is also stubborn with the mind. Pluto in Aquarius is retrograding. So that makes it really internal, but also makes you like reverse, 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 reverse. Everybody clap their hands. Anyway, but it's moving in reverse. So it's not working how it should. It's almost like the investigation is either repeating or you're not being investigative kind of energy, or you're not being deep, you're being superficial. Anyway, but Pluto in Aquarius is collective systems, technology, again, the planes in the sky. So let's see if something happens with that. But explosions, fighting in the sky, emotional tension. It makes me think of war in the sky or protesting over the internet, protesting over what is traditional versus what is new. This is going to especially involve technology, money, social systems, control dynamics. Again, Taurus represents all the finances and food and banking. So all that can intensify because Pluto likes to intense things. It likes to bring intensity. Okay. Let me make sure. I realized, wait, where is my stuff? Hold up, wait a minute. Okay. Just making sure. Oh, I have some comments here. Okay, that's spam. Hello, Sandra. A happy Healing Monday, Danyell, to you and yours. Thank you, Sandra. Danyell, we love you just like you are. Thank you. I don't know what I said to get that, but I appreciate that. I just want you to know that Monday is going to bring some intensity. It's already going to bring the intensity. I don't know where I put my notes. It's already going to bring intensity when we have Mars entering Taurus. We're already going to be feeling this. This is going to affect all of my fixed signs. So, any of my Taurus placements, any of my Leo placements, any of my Scorpio placements, and my Aquarius placements, you guys are feeling this the most. But this is power struggles for real. Actually, I never do this. Also, too, psychological themes and having a fight through therapy. But let's read what the book here. This is the accurate. I love this book here. The archetypal universe. Let me look up Mars and Pluto. Here we are. Tendencies toward brute forceness, exertion, pushing too hard, vulgar and coarse sexuality. This makes me think of someone trying to physically attack you to RA you. So be careful. Don't go any dark alleys or anything like that. A lot of ego battles, manipulation, impulsive confrontation, forcing outcomes kind of energy. Okay. Yeah. So that is what we have for the week. I told you what signs will be feeling this the most. We have a lot of energy focused on Taurus and Gemini. That's where the party's at. And then we'll be entering Cancer. That's where the party starts to develop as the week happens, right? Let me pull some cards for everyone. Again, where am I? Where is. I don't know why. I know why. Because we're dealing with Uranus here. Everything's scattered and unorganized. Let me remove this. Is this still up? You're always looking fantastic. Thank you so much. We love a compliment. Okay, so let me pull some cards for you this week. Oh, we have a card that again is coming out. We have two cards that came out. Let me see what else we have. Okay, so this week, try not to be negative. Try not to be lazy. Look at what God is giving you, the opportunity that God's providing for you this week. God's handing you something, and it could be dealing with your emotions or relationships or your intuition and your spirituality. And you're like, been there, done that. You're not being grateful. So everyone be grateful for the relationships. Also, there could be something that you're going to be given financially, or it's something that you are going to either receive or you're going to be giving. Receiving, we giving. Okay. There's a balance here. Or maybe you'll be doing both. Okay. So that is what we have for you. Now, collectively, we have the Knight of Brooms and we have the Three of Brooms. Ooh, there is going to be some movement, and it's going to be very confident. This is very aggressive, assertive, very spiritual movement energy, moving forward. And I just feel like it's like movement, creative movement, being strong, being anxious. Night energy is very anxious, is very fast, but also fire and desire. Okay, so people are going to be fired up as well collectively. You see the broom is up there like, let's clean this up kind of energy. That is what we have. The Knight moves fast, fire energy, is very passionate and aggressive and assertive, also very creative. So you have that. The Three of Wands is more about expansion. You got the information, now you want to move and go. So a lot of doing, and that could be that Mars and Taurus. It likes to move slow, but it looks like there's some urgency to things too. All right, so that is what we have this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, please let me know and I will answer that. I keep saying I'm gonna do extra videos. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm definitely doing videos from behind my paywall. Yeah, and that's what we have. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye bye.